Hey everybody, welcome to my first live coach training. This is going to be the introduction to leadership development. I'm Francis Williams of Francis Williams Coaching. Thank you for being here. Personally, I'd like to thank you. I know that you could be spending your time in other places doing other things, but you're taking this time to invest in yourself and your future, and it's going to pay off. There's a big program coming your way. This training is all free and you're going to get full access. I'll explain more as we go. One of the things that I'm looking to do with this program is to inspire leaders. So we're going to find out what that means and why. I do have a request of you to give all of your attention that you can to this program. Let's say one day you don't feel like doing it. That's cool, because that's what you can give that day. So if you don't feel all gung-ho at one point and you don't want to continue, that's fine. That's perfectly up to you. If you want to go all in and just be hungry for every course, and you're reading me in the comments for me, like reading my notes on camera, or the way my hair looks, or whatever you like, that's totally fine too. If you want to be totally engaged or not so engaged, it's all up to you, and it's perfect, because what's going to happen is you're going to see where you show up for yourself and how you succeed. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. So again, I said my name is Francis Williams. I do have a certification from my coaching school. It's known as IPEC Coaching. That stands for the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching. It's in Shrewsbury, New Jersey. It's ICF accredited. You can look up what that means on my website in my bio, because it's all in there. I don't have to go into too much detail. So I got certified as a professional coach with them, and then I'm also something called an Energy Leader Index Master Practitioner. And all those words don't mean a whole lot, because you can read about that on the website as well. It just means that I'm certified by IPEC to produce this material for you so that you can learn and do really well. But where did I come from? How did I get here? So growing up my whole life, I'm the fifth of 6 children. I was relatively spoiled growing up. I had a lot of different advantages that not everybody has, like being able to go to college and stuff like that, and not owing any loans, and a whole host of other things I didn't start to realize until a few recent years. I realized that I had been a very angry person through all of that. So what's worse than being spoiled and angry? Like, who can stand a person like that? And how could I even stand myself? And in one case, and actually 2 cases, I almost died in a car accident. One time I was in a hurry to get somewhere on a mountain road that was really windy, and I went over the double yellow line, tried to get past somebody, ran head on into a rock wall and cracked the engine of the car. They had to pull me out of the car. I was fine, fortunately. And then the second time was a potential head-on collision where somebody was on the wrong side of a freeway or highway, and where I was on the East Coast. And so if you can believe it, I survived 2 near-death experiences. So now I have this third chance at life. So why not, in my mind, help other people make conscious, fulfilled choices in their life so they can have what they want? Because I was so busy having what I wanted, not being happy about what I had, and being so angry that I almost lost it twice. And here I am. Okay, 3rd time's a charm, right? That is my life number too, is 3, so it makes sense. So who are leaders? Let's look at that, because I talked about I'm here to inspire leaders. So basically, leaders in their ideal sense, in a general overview, they're people who are flexible. They're people who participate with you in the actions and activities you're doing. You can talk to them. They're approachable. And in some cases, they even inspire you. As opposed to, for example, managers. If you look up the definition of manager in a dictionary, you'll find out that there's someone who likes to control, or who controls. So who would you want to be around and spend your time with? Someone who's trying to be controlling, or, which is me and my anger. That's manager over here, because I've been a manager in several jobs and I always aspired to be a manager. No wonder I'd rather be a leader and not have to be a manager looking for all this control all the time, right? Crazy. So rather, I said, okay, how can I be flexible? How can I be somebody that participates with people in their aspirations, as opposed to like, you do this, you do that, and how can I be inspiring so that you might not want to be like me, but you might want to be your best self. And that's why I'm here, to bring out that best you, because I know everybody has that in them. It's a choice, which we'll find out whether or not they choose to be their best when they can be. So what do leaders also do? Leaders move people into action. And when you move somebody into action, that takes energy. So in some cases, you might think, okay, well, so what? Well, we'll get to so what shortly, because there's all kinds of energy. And the thing that you're going to learn in this course is not only how to be great at being a leader, but how to be great at controlling your own personal energy at all times, so you can be unstoppable, as a great advantage to this course. And so when we talk about energy, you can talk about energy consciously, like you're aware of what you're doing, you're choosing what you're doing, or you can talk about it unconsciously. It's like you're at the effect of the world. Stuff's happening to you, life sucks, this one did that to me, you're full of blame, stuff like that. And so how do you want to choose to be a leader? Do you want to be conscious? Do you want to choose where you're going and what you're doing and taking responsibility, being accountable for that, and then being proud of yourself for knowing you're doing your best? Or do you want to be unconscious and always be blaming others and being in low energy? And I'll talk about low energy as opposed to high energy in a minute, because it's a very specific training that we're going to go through regarding energy. So who are leaders? By default, everyone's a leader. I mean, you might think of, my teacher's a leader, they're leading the classroom. Oh, there's a leader of a country. Some people might agree that those people are leaders and those people aren't. And there's a leader of a corporation. There's a leader of, leader of the pack. I know you've heard that song probably, that's just me being random. But there's leaders everywhere you look, and you're either a leader by choice, you show up for yourself, like when you negotiate a car deal and you want to get the best interest rate. Or when you're calling up because you need to return something and you want to make sure it gets back there and you get your money back. You either show up as a conscious leader and you're choosing your actions and you're getting the best results, or you show up as an unconscious leader and you're complaining and you're kicking and you're screaming and, wow, poor me, I need this, I need that. Nobody cares because you're just being a baby. You're not actually being a leader. But either way, you're a leader, because a leader is, how do you show up for yourself? How well do you look out for yourself? How well do you look out for the people you care about? That makes you a leader. And you either have to do that for yourself or for others or for both. So one of the things that you're going to learn as a leader is that you're going to learn how to have a productive work and family life. You're going to have interpersonal effectiveness in your relationships. By doing those things, by having a productive life, by being effective interpersonally, you're going to learn how to overcome fear. You're going to learn how to be unstoppable in any situation and learn how to act consciously. And then by doing those three things, you'll also learn how to access the gateway to your inner genius, so that you can just be free to create when you want to create. So let's get back to energy for a minute, because I talked about leaders move people into action, and action takes energy. In this course, we're going to talk about two types of energy. There's catabolic and there's anabolic. So catabolic energy means energy that breaks down or destroys, and anabolic energy builds up and creates. So if you don't understand catabolic and anabolic that well, or if this isn't making sense to you, or even if this is making perfect sense to you, we're going to go into great detail into what anabolic and catabolic energy are. We're going to talk about levels of energy associated with them. I'll tell you right now, we're going to be talking about 7 levels of energy. So in those 7 levels, 2 of them, thankfully, are catabolic. That means the good news is 5 of them are anabolic. So that means you have 5 out of 7 chances to grow and develop, as opposed to 2 out of 7. But the reality is that studies have been done by IPAC, and if you look at the news or you look at Twitter or any other social media, for example, you'll see that the vast majority of people are catabolic. They're in destructive energy. And to get into those levels briefly, I'm going to talk about them from the emotion that gets exhibited in that energy. So the first energy level is fear. That's the lowest level of energy. When you're in fear, we'll talk about the details. I love to talk about this stuff, so I could just rattle on about it, but let's keep on moving. The second energy level is anger. So remember, those first 2 levels, fear and anger, those are catabolic. They're destructive. They're internal, and they at times get out in terms of the way you lash out at people, the way you react or interact with people from fear or from anger. Now, fortunately, the other 5 levels, starting with level 3, is forgiveness. You're going to start your anabolic journey there. After that is level 4, which is compassion. Level 5 is peace. Sorry about the noise in the background, I'm just filming outside. Level 6 is joy, and level 7 is something called absolute passion. So Again, you don't have to pause or rewind the video unless you want to write those down, and feel free to, rewind as many times as you need to and stop and pause and take notes. That's totally fine. We're going to go through these energy levels again and again and again and again. You're going to hear them and you'll be like, why doesn't he shut up about the energy? Because we're talking about you being the best leader you can be by having the most conscientious input into everything you're saying and doing and thinking and behaving. So we're going to tie those two together so that you can get really great success as a leader in this course. So why does that matter? Well, your energy level determines your success. So if you have a crappy energy level, like fear or anger, you're going to get crappy success. But if you have really great energy, like, oh, I'm a win-win person, or, there's no such thing as losing, and that's your attitude all the time or most of the time, then what's going to happen is you're going to be more successful more of the time. So you're going to get what you attract. One of the things we're going to talk about that you may be aware of, and if this is news to you, awesome. If it's not and you know everything about this, even better, because then you can, comment and you can tell me what you like or what you want me to talk more about. But I'm going to put out there that what you think is based on everything you believe. Like if you believe in a higher power or not, if you believe that we live in the greatest country in the world or not, if you believe that going to work will make you rich or being your own boss will make you rich or not, those thoughts are going to cause you to feel a certain way. So your thoughts are going to create your feelings and emotions based on, having the thoughts like, oh my God, it's such a beautiful day today. It's so pretty. I feel happy. And then those emotions or feelings that you have are going to create your actions. And then those actions are going to create your results. So what we're going to talk about as leaders is how do you get conscious to your whole thought, feeling, action system. How do you interrupt it when you need to so that you can succeed? And how do you put in the inputs that you want? It's like cheating. It's like creating your own superpower. And basically what you're doing is you're giving yourself the opportunity to succeed at higher levels that you never even knew were possible. So you're going to start to open doors that you didn't even know were there and be like, oh, I didn't even know I could do that. This is ridiculous. Stuff like that has happened to me. It's happened to people that I've known in my coaching program. It's happened to my clients. And if you go to my website again, you can read a testimonial on a couple of clients. They're both business owners. One owns an HVAC company and one owns a canine consulting company. Very interesting company. I follow her on Instagram as well. It's MGH Consulting, or Canine Consulting, but you'll see that when you see my website. So if you want to go look there, check it out. It's really cool. And let me know what you think, because I can always have room for improvement. So one of the things that's great about energy in this course is we're going to talk about something called the energy action model. Like if you have low energy and low willingness, what are you going to do? Nothing. You don't have the energy to do it and you don't want to do it, so you're not going to do anything. And then if you have high energy and high willingness and everywhere in between with those 7 levels of energy, we're going to talk about, the energy action model throughout the course. But as an overview to this model, what you want to know is that this model is subjective. It's, for example, like let's say you take a Myers-Briggs assessment, which is based on your behavior. It's going to tell you, okay, this is what you've got based on who you are. So this is a limit of what you can do. And, these are the things you probably can't do. And so that's behavioral. Like what will you do based on what you've got? The cool thing about this leadership development that I'm teaching you is that it's subjective, which means that it's up to you what happens, and it's up to you, what you're working with, and it's up to you. So it's based on your attitude. It's attitudinal, and so you can alter it. You can change your attitude, just like if somebody threw an egg at you right now and it splattered all over your face, you can be pissed off. You can wipe it off and be like, well, I got hit with an egg, whatever. If a bird's up in the tree, you kind of get it. So you can be mad, or you can say, well, that's what happens, and maybe I shouldn't have been under the tree, or whatever. Maybe the bird could have done that somewhere else, or maybe somebody could have hit me with an egg somewhere else. It's kind of like that. It's subjective. You choose how you act and react. And because of that, the best part is that means you choose when you succeed, which obviously means you choose when you don't. So let's be giving all we can in this course and choose to succeed. So what can you expect from this course. So one of the things that I'd like you to know is my clients are typically small business owners. I've worked with people in HVAC, I've worked with bankers, I've worked with real estate agents, I've worked with canine consulting company. Never in a million years thought I would do that. I worked with somebody who's a financial advisor. I worked with somebody who is an owner in an MLM corporation. I worked with individuals on wellness and being accountable, them being accountable to me so that they can keep up with their regimens. And so I work with professionals and individuals, typically small business, and I'm open. We have sessions to determine, on a complimentary basis, would I be a good fit for you? We'll talk about that later. That's not that big of a deal. I'm really trying to get you into this training so that you can get the most out of it. But we check out, are we a good fit in these sessions? If we're not, the great thing for you guys is that on my website there's a whole host of other coaches, because it's associated with my coach training school. And if there's somebody you want to work with in your region, if there's somebody you've heard of and now you realize, oh wow, they went to the same school, it might happen. I'm not saying all the coaches that went to my school are famous, but you might know them. Or if you just have a preference for, like for example, I'm a man, you might want to work with a woman, you could look on my website and you could find somebody who's up your alley along those lines. So, be that as it may, you have options. You don't have to work with me if you choose to work with a coach at all. You can look on that site and be like, oh, this is wonderful. There's a lot of people here. So remember, again, what you can expect to get out of this course is becoming a leader versus a manager in all areas of your life. You'll have productive work and family environments once you implement what I'm going to teach you in this course. You might have that already, and now you can learn some subtleties, if you do have that, of like, how can I make this even better? Because what's better than better? Best, right? So now you can be your best. So you'll also learn interpersonal effectiveness, how to work with people, get along with people, no matter what their disposition. You can always be awesome and you can always be great. Like I said, it's your hidden superpower to be awesome no matter who shows up or what. Again, sorry for the noise in the background. I'm outside filming and having a good old time. Hopefully you're enjoying this course too. Taking a deep breath. So one of the things I think is the biggest bonus of this course, and it's one thing that I wanted to learn how to be, and I'm not always this, I don't always have this superpower ready and available, because there's things that will stop you. That's why you have a coach. I have a coach. And if you want a coach, great. If you want this training to be your coach and get free training and get coached that way, awesome. You just can't really interact with me as much as you can if we talk directly. That's up to you. And to me, it doesn't matter how you get this training, just as long as you get it and give me feedback so I can make it even better. We'll get to that later too. So the benefit, because I'm so ADHD, I almost forgot what I was going to say. The benefit is that you're going to learn how to overcome your fear and be unstoppable. And you're going to get to that through this course. So don't worry, what does that mean? No, that's crazy, that's impossible. No, we'll get there. And the best way to get there individually to you is by working with someone that you're accountable to. It doesn't have to be me. It could be, your mom. It could be your best friend. It could be your roommate. It could be somebody who has your best interest at heart that wants to be your accountability partner. So take it that way, because all I'm selling you is free training. It's free, so I can't be selling it. I'm just giving it away. So again, you're also going to learn how to access your gateway to your genius. That's like your highest level of energy, where your creativity lies, and we'll talk all about that soon. What if you wanted to take a deeper dive into this material and you said, wow, this is fascinating and amazing, kind of like me when I started? I'm not going to talk about going and becoming a coach, or me coaching you as a coach, none of that. I'm going to talk about we can work together in many different ways. One of the ways is right here on Instagram right now, Instagram TV, you're doing it. So you don't have to do anything else. Just enjoy the video, take notes if you want, apply it or not. These are seeds that will be planted in your conscious mind, so that you'll know one day maybe the seed will sprout. The seed might wither if you don't cultivate it. It's up to you. But the training's ready and it's free, and I'm hoping you're loving it. So another way that you can take advantage of taking a deeper dive into the material I'm talking about is I'm going to be creating 2 different courses. One is the Energy Leadership Development System. Give me a moment. So my school has created a 12-part system. It's called Energy Leadership Development. That's actually what this course is right now. It's not the absolute maximum, full-blown, balls to the wall, fireworks all over the place course. That's what this is. But when you do this course with a coach and you do it as designed, it's ridiculous. When you do this course on my training right here, this is your introduction, and there's going to be so much content, but you're not going to be able to talk to me about it. So talk to me in the comments, DM me. If you have questions, let me know, what you need to know so that I can get back to you directly. Part of me growing my content on this channel is so that you can come to me and say, Francis, I hear you're a coach and I want to learn how to be a better leader. How can I do that? I might say, check out my IGTV on my leadership training. This is a 13-part series. So you're going to see 13 of these up to an hour long. This is up to 13 hours of coach training. So now I'm just blathering. I'm going to get back to what I'm saying. So you can have that course that I'm going to create, which is coming later this year. It's not even available yet because I'm starting now. The course is really happening right now. So congratulations. And thank you for being one of the first to be on my course. It's very moving and I appreciate it a lot. It's really cool, really awesome. Sometimes I get emotional and I like that because it means I'm alive and I'm choosing to succeed on my own terms. So there's another course that I'm going to be putting out called Access, ACCESS, and that course is going to be delivered on IGTV first. So good thing for you, if you're following me, is that you're going to have access to all my courses and they're all going to be free, and you're going to be able to get all this really great stuff, and then you're like, see, now I'm a badass because I took Francis's courses and I'm applying them and things are working. And I got it just by showing up and just by putting in the effort. That's why I said give it your effort so that you can get the most out of it. Enough of the rah-rah stuff, because I don't like doing that as a coach. I like to actually really hold you accountable and really make you create your own initiatives and your own starting points, and then help you every step of the way so that you know that not only am I your partner, but I have your best interest at hand. Then I'm going to be writing 2 books this year. One book is called Access, also based on the same course called Access, duh, and not duh to you, just duh in general. And then my first book that I ever wanted to write, I'm finally going to write it this year. It's called The Meanings, not the meaning, the meanings, plural, meaning everybody's meaning, the meanings of life. And it's not going to tell you what life is all about. It's going to tell you that you tell you what life is about. That's the meaning of life. You call the shots. So whether you call them or not, your life is going to show up the way it shows up. So you might as well call them and be in control and have some fun along the way. So another way you can take a deeper dive is you can work with me one-on-one as a coach. And, what does that look like? That looks like potentially working with me on, the energy leadership development system. And, what does that look like to have a coach alongside me the whole way? One of the things the energy leadership development system does, it allows you to take a sit down at a computer assessment where you get to figure out, what are my energy levels? Remember before I said there were fear, anger, forgiveness, compassion, joy, peace, joy, and absolute passion. I almost flipped them. But I said you don't have to remember those now because we're going to talk about them in an extreme amount through this course. You're going to get to learn, where you fall in those energy levels. And one thing I forgot to tell you earlier was you have something called an average resonating level. So your energy is like the stock market. It goes up and down all throughout the day. And what happens is wherever you spend the most time is where your average energy level is. So let's say when I first started this course, I had an average resonating level of like 3.1. And what does 3.1 mean? Well, if 3, the third level is forgiveness, I'm a little bit into my forgiveness part of myself. But what I found out was that I'm mostly angry, and then I'm peaceful, and then I'm afraid, and then I'm optimistic, and so I bounce back and forth. And no wonder I'm ADHD. I'm bouncing on back and forth among everything anyway. But the thing is the best thing about ADHD people is once we find a topic we love, like for me it's flying or coaching, sometimes it's cooking, but flying and coaching are those 2 things. If you get me talking about those, you're never going to shut me up because my attention is so dialed in. So imagine what it would be like working with somebody like me who's dialed in to your needs and your success. And that's what this training is. It's dialing into your needs and your success right now. So eat it up. So basically, most people won't want one-on-one coaching. One, because it's a high ticket item. So you don't want to pay for, so get the training here. And then the other thing is that the benefit of working with me one-to-one is that because I'm a small business at this point, I'm not, Grant Cardone, I'm not Joe Vitale, I'm not Tony Robbins, I'm not Brendan Bouchard. And you can go look them up. They have millions of followers and they help so many people and they're so amazing. But the advantage is, what does it cost to work directly with them? Am I as good as them? I'm the best. You know why I'm the best? And you can turn this off right now if you don't think I am, because what you think doesn't matter. I'm the best at what I do and the coaching that I deliver, because nobody does what I do and nobody delivers what I deliver the way I deliver it. You're the best at what you do and what you're passionate about, because there's not another version of you. Take that in, realize that, and then take this course and apply those together and build your superpower. So this isn't about superpower, this is about being a leader. So that's another way you can take a deeper dive and you can work with me. Either way, put in your effort here, like I said before, and you'll learn a lot and you'll get so much out of this program. I'm almost done with the introduction, even though we're about a half an hour into this. It's going to be minimal editing on this video, so what you see is what you get. It's going to be like you were here with me on a live, and things are going to happen, and it'll just be a recorded video. Lives are coming soon though, so once I start to build my audience here, I'm going to start going live. I'm going to start coaching people online. That could be you. I could coach you for what you pay for. You would get coached right here, as long as you leave me a testimonial and do a survey. We don't even have to put the coaching on Instagram, but you'll be live on Instagram. I don't have to release it if you don't want me to. I won't put it back out there. If you say, hey, that live we did, could you not put that out there? Cool, I don't care, that's fine, because I want your confidentiality to be highest above everything else. So if you want to be on a live, great. If you don't want to be on a live, you don't want to hire me, great. If you don't want to hire me and you want to do this program, great. If you're sick of this program, totally cool, but you're about to miss out, because here comes more. So that's the introduction. Now there's 13 segments, like I told you. I'm about to tell you specifically what these segments are that you're going to be getting in this course. So the next segment is called Program Orientation and Planning. So you're in a course, I'm calling it a program. We're going to get oriented with, like what's the roadmap for this course, not like how do I sign you up. That has nothing to do with it. It's just how are you oriented? Which way are you facing? Where are you going? What's my roadmap? That's it. And then what's the plan of the course? So if the word orientation threw you off, it's more like your roadmap. Next, after that, we have 7 levels of leadership. That's where we get into the fear, the anger, the forgiveness, the compassion, the peace, the joy, the absolute passion. And for people who think, oh, that's just foo-foo stuff, I'm going to skip that section, go ahead. You're going to hear about it anyway. But the thing is if you get the section and you apply it and it doesn't work for you, which is impossible because it works, and you can look it up on, go to my website and look at all the research on it and look at other people's research on it and look at what, other people, Tony Robbins and Brendan Bouchard, did comment on this system. And they said, on the back of the book called Energy Leadership, you have Tony Robbins talking about how Bruce Schneider, who created this program, whose school I went to, he created a program that's so worthwhile for people that this should be put in school so that people can just handle themselves and be their best all the time. So this is what you're getting, and you're getting it right now, and I hope you're loving it. So even though you might think it's foo-foo stuff and you might think, oh, that's not for me, be advantageous and take advantage of what parts are for you and what parts don't talk to you at all, and put it to work. Put to work the parts that work for you. So then the next section after that is called Leadership Strengths and Gaps. We're going to talk about, as a leader, where are you strong, and then where do you have opportunities to improve, or gaps, or some people call them weaknesses. We're going to talk about, where this could show up and how you can look out for them, and just getting yourself ready for this program. You're in the program, but how do you get the best out of it? Then we're going to talk about removing barriers to success. We're going to look at what does success mean in general. What does success mean to you? We're going to talk about what can get in your way, what can block you from success. Stuff you might know about. And I'll guarantee the majority of people on this program probably haven't heard of every single one of these blocks. And if you have, you're probably a coach or a consultant or somebody who's been doing this kind of work for a lot of years, or know somebody who is. And that's perfectly cool. You're going to hear my version of, what are these blocks? And then once you know what they are, you can open a door that you never even knew was there. And then once you open the door, there'll be a table with keys on it. And what are those keys? That's the best part. I'm going to talk to you about 8 conscious leadership segments. And why do I say conscious leadership? Because when you're conscious, you're choosing, you're doing the good energy. You're choosing the way you want to be, and you're in full control. It's like you're the driver at the wheel or the pilot at the yoke of the plane. The first of these 8 segments is emotional intelligence, and you've probably heard a lot about this. We're going to do a segment entirely on emotional intelligence, what it means, how you can get the most out of it, how you can get the most out of working with people around you so that everybody wins. The next segment is called high energy relationships. This is where I was talking about interpersonal effectiveness. This is where you're going to get to learn how to identify when people are low energy, high energy, how to identify your energy, how your energies are coexisting or clashing, and how you can get the most and the best out of each other's energies. The next segment after that is dynamic communication. Wouldn't it be great to always be engaging with people on a high energy level? And I don't mean like jumping up and down like, oh, this is great. No, I mean that you're focused, that you're success and results driven, that you're conscious, you're going in the right direction, you know what's going on, and so do the people around you because you empower them with your communication. The fourth segment is called productivity. How do you establish productivity? What does that even mean? And how do you remain productive so that the things that you're up to keep going? The fifth segment is problem solving. You know, what are problems and what are ways that you can shift your energy and look at things in different ways, because you're going to learn different ways to think. You're going to learn that there are certain things in the world that are illusions, and these are more cognitive illusions, like things that you think of in your head that you might not have even thought of. It's an illusion because you haven't even thought of it yet. Now you see it, you're like, oh, now I can see it. It's not an illusion anymore. It's really cool. So you're going to learn, you know, how to solve problems creatively and in ways you might not have ever thought of before. And if you think of them or you've thought of them the way I'm thinking of them, challenge me and be like, okay, I had this problem. I mean, any problem can be solved. It just depends on, you know, what energy level you're coming from and what you're willing to do to look out for yourself and those people that you care about. Segment 6 is influencing and inspiring others. So as a leader, one of the things you want to be able to do is influence other people. You don't want to necessarily manipulate them. You want to be able to work with them. You want to be able to show up and say, hey, I can lead by example. Hey, I'm participating with what you're doing. We're all doing this together. We're all leaders anyway. So why don't we just show up as leaders and influence each other as leaders and inspire each other? After that, segment 7 is health and wellness. Love coaching people on health and wellness. I love going out for my 4-mile run. I don't love it, but I love how I feel knowing that I did it and how my body feels. Do I love my blood pressure resistance training that I just learned how to do, which I'm going to be posting about in my Instagram soon? Yeah, I do love it because it's really easy, but you get so sore after and it's just like, oh. So, you know, I'm learning a lot of stuff about health and wellness that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, and what you like, great. Let me know. What you hate, let me know. And I'll do more of what you like, because this channel is to help you be your best. It's not to help me be my best, because me showing up for you is me being my best, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, you'll see why it makes sense and why I'm passionate about what I do through the videos I put out for you. And the 8th segment is time management and balance. So what the hell is that? Well, how are you managing your time? And do you really have more time than you think you do? And we're going to find out ways where people say, oh, I don't have any time, and oh my God, this is crazy. And well, if you're not putting your energy there into managing your time, and everything you do is time management. It's not like, oh, I have, you know, work-life balance. You notice I didn't say work-life balance earlier when I said segment 8 is time management and balance, because everything is part of your life. Your work is part of your life, and you're learning how to balance everything. And how do you balance everything? We're going to talk about that. And that's the very last. Most of you are probably like, no, do that first. I want to know how to manage my time so I can actually watch this video. Just watch the videos. It'll make sense. And you'll be glad you did, and you'll be glad I did it the way I did it, because this is the way that I do it. And I think that you'll have a really great appreciation for that. So now that we know all that, and now that we know the fun stuff that's coming up and the next episodes, I just wanted to let you know that we talked about the introduction to leadership development. We talked about a lot of different cool stuff about how I'm here to inspire leaders, my background, and how I survived death twice. And, you know, here's my third chance at life, third time's a charm, thankfully. And how being a leader takes energy, how energy can show up in different ways. We're going to learn how to shift that energy to become unstoppable. We're going to learn how to create great relationships. We're going to do 13 segments. This is segment 1, so you're almost done with that. We're going to do 13 segments of coaching training, and if you want to work with me, you can be here with me on Instagram. You can take part in courses and books coming up this year. You can hire me to work with you one-on-one. You can get your company to hire me if that's something that you're interested in. You don't want to pay for it. Creative, huh? Or you can get somebody else to help you out, because working with me isn't necessarily the way to your success. You and your ideas are the way to your success. Your ideas got you here. That's why you're watching. Where else can they get you? That doesn't mean I'm your answer. You are your answer. I'm just showing you how to access that so that you'll know that you're your answer. And then you won't even think, oh, I don't need a coach anymore. The best part about having a coach, whether it's on video or whether it's in person, whether it's a course or whether it's a free training, the best part about having it is the accountability. So that once you say you're going to do something, you don't wuss out and say, oh, I don't feel like it anymore. Oh, any excuse in the book to not do it. No, I have to tell Francis. Oh, no, I had to tell Gina. No, I had to tell Rose. I have to tell John. I have to tell whoever I'm accountable to, because I said I would. And then you'll show up even more and you'll succeed. And then even though you won't need the accountability as much going forward, you'll want the accountability, because you'll say, what am I capable of? What can I do now? And you'll already be making a success out of yourself. So by putting back and investing into yourself again and again and again, let's say you paid for this program, and now you're, oh my God, I invested my money. I better spend my time on this. I better watch this. You can tell yourself this now. Oh, it's free. I better watch this. I better get my money's worth now. Your money's worth is what you say it is. And what that means is when you're ready to show up for your success, you're going to show up for your success because you said so. Because you're finally going to realize, oh yeah, I really want that so bad. And sometimes people say the only time you change is when it's too painful to stay the same. That's an actual quote, so I'm not quoting anybody, but I say sometimes people say that just because the only time you change is when it's too painful to stay the same. And the thing is, why wait for it to become a pain as opposed to, be a pain in your own butt and let somebody you're accountable to be a pain in your butt too, so that you can get what you want. And this isn't about money. This isn't about fame. This isn't about success. This is about learning to be a leader and learning how to be in control of your energy so you can do anything. It could be about money and fame and whatever. That's up to you, because what you show up with and what you say your goals are and what you say you're going to accomplish and what you say your strategies and what you say your targets are going to be what's important for you. And that's all that matters. I can't tell you as a coach what's important for you. And as a matter of fact, as a coach, I don't tell you what's important for you. What I tell you is that I want you to tell me what's important to you. I'm going to listen to you non-judgmentally, and you're going to have my full attention, and you're going to have the full resources of my unstoppability, and that's going to be given over to you. It's being given over to you in this training right now, so that you can be fully unstoppable, and you can take these tools and you can give this to everyone you meet, not in the form of a course, just in the amazing person that you already are, that's coming out in every moment, because now you're conscious and now you know everything that's going on and how to handle anything that's going on, no matter what. So the next lesson coming up, like I said, is called Program Orientation and Planning. That's going to be coming up tomorrow, because as of now, I'm only going to be posting my IGTV on my busiest days. So every week I'm going to be looking at my analytics and I'm going to be saying what are my busiest days. And I'm only going to be posting 3 videos a week. So there's 13 videos. It's going to be happening in 4 weeks, and then the first third of the 5th week. That makes sense. If it doesn't, then never mind what I said. Ha. So basically, I'm going to be posting 13 videos over the course of the next few weeks, 3 videos a week, busiest days. You're not going to know my busiest days. I'm just going to be telling you in my reels, hey, my next video is coming up on this day, da 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 da. So if you're sitting back and you're waiting for the next video, which hopefully you are, and if you're not, then you're watching it all on recording and, binge watch. And have a blast. I hope I'm being very entertaining, and I hope my silly shirts and my big hair and the lovely palm trees behind me and this beautiful Southern California weather are not making you jealous, because maybe you live in Hawaii, or maybe you live, you know, in the South Pacific, and you're like, oh, you're jealous of me, it's warmer down here. So, because it's winter here now, even though it's only like 60 some odd degrees. Anyway, that's a good thing. So now I can be outside, and I can be, you know, in a place where I can express myself and bring you this great training. This is one of the reasons I wanted to be here, because the energy here, like the warm weather and the sunny weather, allows me to bring you more training more often. I love to be outside. I love to be in nature, and you're going to find out that I love to be high energy. So until next video, which again is planning orientation, and it's like the roadmap, program orientation, sorry, and planning, which will be the roadmap through the rest of the course. I'll see you here tomorrow for that. And if I don't see you here tomorrow, I hope you enjoy this video. Either way, throw me some comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If the video is too long, if I kind of ramble on or get distracted, totally cool. If you want to know more about any particular segment, like for example, let's say you want to know, oh, I want to know all about the 7 levels of energy. I'll say, okay, wait for the training, and then when you watch the 7 levels of energy, ask me about the questions right after that video. If you say, oh, I want to know more about the introduction, what did you mean by, you know, you're here to inspire leaders, then I'll answer that directly in the comments or the DMs, because that just happened for this video. So when you make your comments, I know you got a preview. You can totally ask me, and when I won't be a jerk and be like, oh, wait for the video. I'll tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll say, watch the video. And if you really want to know, you know, I can send you more information. We could have a consultation. That's one of the coolest things about working with me as a coach, though I forgot to mention. Let's say you said, oh, I want to see how much he charges, or oh, I want to see what it's like to be coached. Well, you're in luck, because the first 2 sessions that I do with anybody, and I'll tell you the reason why there's 2 sessions. The first 2 sessions I do with anybody are free. They're complimentary. And it's a try before you buy, because number one, I want you to love the product and the service that I'm providing you. And I want you to know all about it from the get-go. So the first conversation will be on the phone. It'll take 10 minutes. You'll be surprised how much you can get done in 10 minutes. You'll actually get to take one of the things that's the most important to you right now. We'll coach on it a little bit, and then we'll leave it, you know, started, so that you can see if it's something that's really important to you that you want to talk further about. If it is, and we both feel like, you know, we're getting along on the call well, or we're a good fit, and like we're not like at each other's throats like, hey, you're a jerk and I don't like you anyway, then we're probably not gonna have a second session. But just to be honest, man, there's a plane going over. I told you I like to talk about flying, but that didn't necessarily mean that I was gonna be in a flight pattern today. It just so happens that I am. But anyway, you might love the first session and be like, oh my God, I can't wait to do the next session. Well, even better than the first session being free, the second session is free, and it's for up to an hour. So a full coaching session is typically an hour. So we're going to do an actual coaching session based on that topic. Or if you change topics, you know, between then and the time we talk, what's going to happen is we're going to talk for an hour. And at the end of the conversation, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you have to buy my coaching because it's the best thing in the world. No, I'm basically going to end the conversation by saying,